Hey guys, and welcome back to Treasure Theory. I'm your host Jordan, and today we're going to be doing another Market Watch review to take a look at what people are buying and selling over on eBay so that we can get a better idea as to what we should be buying, collecting, and investing in. It's going to be an interesting video today, guys. There's a lot of cards that are popping up that people seem to be buying right now. Things feel a little more all over the place in today's video, but I do think as we look through the cards, we'll start to get a better picture as to what people are currently after. But again, as always, before we get into it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And real quick, a word from today's sponsor. It's 2026, and I think it's time we start upgrading our internet browsers to something with a little more style, and Opera GX offers just that. Opera GX is an easy-to-use web browser that offers a new way to browse the internet in style. From mods to custom keyboard sounds, Opera GX offers users a wide range of customization that allows you to enjoy your time online instead of using a boring browser. Let's quickly take a look at the mod setup. To access GX mods, just open the browser, head over to the mods tab on the side, and you'll be met with a ton of different options to choose from. From effects to complete interface customization, you'll be able to put together your ultimate themed browser in no time. But if you're looking for a quick fix, click the easy setup option in the top right corner and you'll have a ton of different presets and themes to choose from. Opera GX also includes fun and useful features like split screen, making it easy to multitask while working or browsing. It also has a video pop-out option, allowing you to keep watching content while staying focused on other tasks. Plus, you can easily synchronize your data from other browsers on Opera GX so you can seamlessly pick up right where you left off. So if you're interested in trying Opera GX today, be sure to click the link down in the description below and start enjoying the internet with more style today. And of course, thank you Opera GX for being today's sponsor. So in my last video, guys, I asked what your opinions were about buying Qzon, one of the three admirals, the manga card we're talking about, from OP16 for $850 USD. And well, I decided to go out there and snag one of these cards myself and just take a look at how awesome this card is. Guys, I'm a huge fan of Qzon and Kizaru, but I don't care too much about Akainu. I don't think anybody really likes that guy, but either way, guys, this card is absolutely gorgeous, and yet again, we continue to add to the manga collection for the binder. I'm a big fan of manga cards. Now, I do advocate a lot for SPs. I think SPs are a lot more gorgeous looking, but you cannot deny that the OG mangas are just fantastic. They look great. They're super rare to get. And that's what I like to strive for. So let me just safely put that in my binder here. And let me know in the comments below, how much do you think this page alone is worth? Okay? Just gonna show that off here. Let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, let's get into it. So speaking of mangas, it seems like somebody decided to buy themselves a Rayleigh manga from eBay, and I actually just did 130 point, and for some reason, it's not popping up. Can somebody explain why that happens? Like, sometimes the cards just will not show, or the ones that have sold from these specific listings, but we can assume it's definitely under $1,000 USD. Now, fun fact, Rayleigh was actually the first manga card I ever received. I thought he was a good snag, and when things weren't so expensive, he was only about $300. So it's kind of insane to just kind of look back and see where these cards have gone. Granted, Rayleigh hasn't exactly exploded in price, but just cards in general are out of control. And speaking of out of control, guys, this Luffy continues to dominate the Gear 5 space. Now, we know that the Gear 5 manga Luffy is obviously incredibly expensive, very rare, very difficult to get, but this is one of the few cards that is basically representing the Gear 5 Luffy card, but of course, not being a manga or anything like that. It is a gorgeous card. I have this card in Japanese. It's really nice, and the price for this thing has just continued to go up. And I swear to God, every time we do a market review, somebody is buying these cards. Okay, so the gift collection. So obviously a lot of promos have been on fire lately. People seem to be buying them up in droves and stuff like that. But I do find the gift collection still hasn't completely exploded. I don't know if the mania of promos has kind of died down a little bit. Granted, there's so many promos popping up right now. I just feel like the market can't decide where the next big play is going to be, because, I mean, we obviously saw the first anniversary explode in price. The 25th anniversary kind of tailed behind it, but there seems to be a bit of a lag with other promo cards like the gift collection. So we got this Robin here sold for 400. The Nami sold for 389 USD, the Uta for 229, and the Sanji for 295. Now, I'm assuming whoever bought these together, because it was basically bought around the same time. So that's going to be my assumption. But there definitely is some interest for the gift collection. These are pretty old cards. You know how I feel about the date 2023? That's pretty old for the One Piece TCG. So again, you see cards from 2023, just remember, that was the first year where things were kind of getting serious. But anyways, let's move on. Next up, we've got the Gear 4 Luffy, the Snake Man Luffy, selling for $2,248 British pounds, sorry, and about $3,000 USD. Super big fan of this Luffy card. I'm a big fan of the whole cake arc. I thought the Katakuri fight with Luffy was fantastic, and if that's spoilers, I just don't know what to tell you at this point. Like, it's been around for years. I'm sorry, but yeah, fantastic card. Okay, so here's something we don't see too often. This is the Scratchman of Pooh winner card, the regionals card, selling for $1,300 USD. Now tell me something. Do you notice the one detail that stands out the most? It's not the price. It is the PSA 10 count. There are only 8 of these cards graded in the world for PSA. That is a very rare card. We do not see that very often, and because it's Scratchman of Pooh, which granted, I'm not a big fan of that guy, people don't seem too interested or seem to be chasing him, but honestly, $1,300 for a card this rare, pretty good if you ask me. Alright, we've got a Manga Nami card from PRBO1 selling for $4,000 USD. This is the only Nami manga card that exists currently, and we are seeing this card's price explode constantly. It's a great card, and you know, the one thing about this manga card that stands out from the others, and no, I'm not, that is bad. You stop it right now. I'm pointing out the fact that you can actually see a lot more of the manga panels behind the character in this. I find a lot of the manga cards, you're kind of struggling to see what's going on back there, but, you know, they are textured, they are beautiful, and I do really appreciate the style for those cards, but anyways, let's move on. So we got a treasure rare Luffy. This is Fat Man Luffy from, again, Whole Cake. Selling for $3.16, so a $4 discount. Treasure rares, they're very difficult to find. 1 per case. Now that could change after OP16 because it seems like OP16's mapping system's completely different now. But regardless, everything prior treasure rares were very rare, and they began after OP06. So some interesting information there. So next up, we've got the magazine Luffy. This is a Japanese exclusive card. I'm a big, you know, I'm not crazy about Japanese cards, but lately I'm really starting to see the value in them, especially Japanese exclusive cards. The word exclusive, I don't know about you, but it just gets me going, okay? The scarcity, all right? The scarcity mindset. You know, it's a really great card. I own this card, and I believe they're actually going to continue making more versions of this card. I think a yellow one is coming out. Lots of really cool stuff. Big fan. And also pay attention to that PSA count because there are a lot out there. You don't want to overbuy those types of cards. Okay, we've got the convention exclusive Luffy card. An iconic look of Luffy here. There's 2 versions. There's the non-foil and then the foil. The foil version's obviously the more expensive one. I'm pretty sure this is the foil here. But anyways, it's sold for $300 USD, and you can only get it at the convention, so you had to consider that as well. So here's something I want to talk about, guys. So we're starting to see an influx of SRs and cards that don't really deserve to be graded, in my honest opinion, being graded. We've got this Boa here, this Boa SR from OP14. I mean, like, it's not that rare of a card, okay? Same with Robin here. This was obviously below $85 USD, but make no mistake, guys, these are not necessarily rare cards. Now, I know I'm being a stickler with this stuff, and when you look at, like, Pokemon, I swear, like, I just don't understand what's rare or valuable anymore, because if it's not vintage, and it's not like an alt art or illustration rare or whatever, it's just like a regular card, and it's like a reverse holo, or, you know, like, it starts to confuse me as somebody that's not like super duper deep into the Pokemon space. But yeah, guys, I would not be spending your money on cards like this. I mean, the only exception, I guess, would be like if we're talking like OPO1, if we really want to have like an honest debate about this, because, you know, vintage, it's the first set, you know, it's super rare, I guess, to come across. OP14, not that rare. It's not that rare. Okay, moving on. We've got the Manga Ace card from OP13 selling for best accepted offer, which sold for $2,125. So $50 off, baby. Really big fan of this Ace card. I actually like this Ace card more than the original from OPO2. Obviously, OPO2 has more value, if you ask me, because it's just older and it's the first. But I don't know. I just like the look of this Ace. It's just a nice card. All right, so next up, we've got a Doflamingo SP selling for $300 Canadian or $211 USD. Now, I love this card. I kind of went through a phase where I was really chasing all of these like scenic cards, these SPs where there's like something going on in the background. We're talking like the Whitebeard where he's like with all of his crew and they're drinking, or Sanji when he's dashing up. I think that Sanji's from OP 10, I think. But regardless, I really like the SPs where it's showing something happening in the universe, which is great. I think it's a good price for this card. Again, big fan. Okay, so we got a Bandai Card Fest Luffy card in Japanese, by the way, selling for $242 USD. I mean, Bandai Card Game Fest, you had to be there. And that always matters to people when it comes to these type of cards. Okay, so here's another card we don't see too often, but this is the 3-on-3 Cup Top Prize Usopp card selling for $570 USD or 500 euros. The pop count's very low, guys. I've seen one or two of these in the wild, not graded surprisingly, but the card from what I can see doesn't seem too textured, but it's got the stamp, it's got the 3-on-3 Cup. It's a very rare card, and again, it was one of the earlier like prize cards. Really great card, and honestly, I think that was a good price for it. All right, so here's something a little interesting. So obviously there's been a lot of mania around EBO2's gold SPs, the leader cards, and we see that a Japanese version of the BOA, which sells for like $9,000-$10,000, sold for less than $260 USD. Let's actually see what it did sell for. Sold for $230. So I just find that super interesting that this card sold for $230. And yet, the English version is so much more expensive. Definitely very interesting to see that. All right, so we've got a manga Blackbeard from OP09 selling for $3,300 USD. Honestly, killer manga card. I wanted this card, and it's just one of those cards that kind of slipped away. Granted, there's a lot of manga cards I want, like the Sanji, which is like $7,000 now. Still a fantastic card. I'm a big fan of Blackbeard. I think a lot of people misunderstand Blackbeard, and I think he's going to have a bigger role to play in the story. But anyways, there you have it. All right, next up we got a Treasure Rare Luffy selling for $1,088. I did just check, so don't you worry about it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Treasure Rare cards in the One Piece TCG, and it explains why it's one of the most expensive ones you can come across. It's a beautiful card, beautiful texturing. It really represents the Egghead arc, which is a fantastic arc. And there is a bit of a high pop count for these cards, but you do kind of notice the say 10s drop a little bit, which is interesting for One Piece cards. But hey, really nice card. We also got the Bubble Zoro here selling for less than $1,750. Let's just take a look real quick. Sold for $1,525, so a little bit of a discount there. Honestly, guys, this is a really gorgeous card. OP 14 did a really stellar job on their SPs. I really appreciate the gold trims. Same with this card right here. This Eustace Kid was in the set as well. I have this card. It's absolutely gorgeous on camera, and this obviously you can see sold for $220. Now, when I saw this card, I was immediately thinking of Magneto, which was just kind of like, this is a great Eustace Kid card. And although he's not my favorite, I still appreciate the artwork for it. But it's a good steal, it's a snag, and because he's not a big character, although that's not necessarily true, he should be, he's cheap, right? So there you go. We also got another EBO2 Japanese leader card selling for a little bit more, for $1,240 USD. Now the thing here is that with Uda, apparently Uda's really big in Japan. So I would imagine Japanese Uda cards actually sell for a lot more than they would in the West. So that's an interesting little tidbit there for you. All right, next up we have got a Volume 3 Winter Zoro card selling for $300 USD. I like these cards. They're unique. They stand out. In hindsight, they feel a little cheap because, it's just kind of like a shadow image of the card. They're not textured. They're foiled. But they're still, to a degree, like a prize card. They're fun to collect. They're for the most part, pretty affordable and cheap. And they're just nice to have to the collection. But yeah, 300. We've got a Luffy SP card. Now, this is a fantastic Luffy card. Now, this is a fantastic SP, guys. I mean, take a look at this. I was really lucky to pull this from one of my packs when I was opening up OP13. But definitely a fan fave here for me. Especially, again, with the gold texturing going on here. And that was actually around the time when we started seeing more of these gold foil type SPs, which are super neat. But yeah, guys, sold for close to $900 USD or 670 British pounds. Okay, so this is a card you don't see too often. This is from the One Piece Emotion exhibit. Okay, I haven't seen this card too much, but Anyway, sold for $345. We also got the BOA exclusive from PSA themselves. You had to order from their magazine, or you have to be like a part of their subscription. Sold for best accepted offer. Let's quickly take a look. Sold for 420 Blaze. We love to see that. Quite a bit high of a pop count there, but again, you know, if you were subscribed, you were getting the card. Same with the Shanks and a few others. But yeah, really cool card. It's got the Warlords on there, so yeah, I like it. It's neat. We also got a Championship 25 to 26 stamped Shanks card here, selling for $465. I'm a big fan of these type of cards. I like Championship stamped cards. They look nice. And again, and of course, the 3rd anniversary winner Luffy card. This is, I actually consider this a grail, because not only is it a fantastic card, it is literally, the artwork is designed by the creator of Black Clover. I just absolutely love these crossovers from different, manga creators and stuff like that. I really love this card. It's a really great card, and it's a tournament card, which makes it even more special. But yeah, $1,000. So next up, we've got a BOA manga card, an absolute grail from OP07, selling for best accepted offer. So sold for $32,400, so a little bit of a discount there. You don't see too many of these cards anymore. I actually find that as time goes on, we're seeing less and less of these cards. Again, manga cards, rare, valuable, beautiful. We also got the Japanese Luffy manga card from OP13, selling for $3,500, which is pretty crazy, but we are seeing a rise in Japanese cards selling for a lot more now. Uta, the SP from OP05, so definitely a great set, selling for $329. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. I love these abstract backgrounds. These cards really just flex what Bandai can do with their cards, which is great. All right, so next up, we've got a really interesting card here. So this is a 3-on-3 cup. It's a Korean top PSA 10 card, selling for $3,600. That's insane. Only 8 graded in total. But that is awesome. We don't see too many Korean cards, so I love that. And last but not least, we have got the Edward Newgate from OP04, selling for $350 USD. I'm a big fan of the set of these cards, and obviously from OP16, they extended that SP artwork, so the collection continues. It's also terrifying to look at 3 a.m. But anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. A video should pop up on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.